Everybody wanna skip the process. I was in the lab when they was worried about the
Someone once told me my music sounded like it belonged in a movie. Today I'd probably take that as a compliment, but at the time, I wasn't trying to hear that. I wasn't trying to make a cinematic experience. I wasn't trying to create a soundtrack. I was trying to make rap music. So naturally, my first thought was, okay, I need to fix this. I need to make this less dramatic, tone it down. I need to make this less me. But I realized something. There wasn't a problem with my music. That was my style introducing itself to me. And I think this is something almost every artist goes through. You don't start by creating yourself. You start with your influences. And for me, that was Kanye and Kid Cudi. The first time I heard 808 and Heartbreak blew my mind. I mean, it wasn't music. It was an experience. You almost felt like you could physically walk into their world. So naturally, being an expired young chap, I did what anybody would do. I went straight home and I acquired a copy of FL Studio through completely legal and non-suspicious methods.
I did, however, go to iFree Club
And I plugged in my studio quality Rock Band microphone into my 8GB RAM laptop and I went to work. And through that process, I wasn't trying to find myself. I was trying to be like them. And I think that's a totally normal part of development. I mean, your first songs are basically just love letters to your influences. Copy their sounds, their flows, their choices, because you're trying to answer one question. What makes this artist special? You want to reverse engineer all those feelings that they gave you. But eventually a harder question arises. What makes you special? I wanted so badly to sound like Ye and Cudi that any criticism that wasn't "this sounds like Ye" felt like a failure. Someone could tell me,
your melodies are interesting, your productions are tight, your soundscapes are unique.
but somehow to me that translated into my brain, failure. You suck. But I wasn't Ye. And I think that's the trap that a lot of us fall into. We often judge ourselves on someone else's reflection. You're standing in front of a mirror, but you're looking at someone else's image. How could you ever feel like yourself?
Let me live my life, I hit my blink, I got the hang of it. I can't hold a thought, you wouldn't know, you were too hesitant.
But apparently, my music sounded like it was made underwater. And honestly, they weren't completely wrong. My beats were busy. There was too many layers. Too many ideas fighting for attention. I would put like 15 emotions into a song that only needed like 2. And instead of asking, why does my brain keep wanting to make music this way? I was asking, how do I stop doing this? And that's when the whole thing started to change. Because around the same time, social media started teaching me a new way to think about music. Every day I was seeing what was trending, what was working, what producers were doing, what artists were blowing up, and slowly, without even realizing it, I stopped asking, what do I want to make?
Painting should always be fun. It should make you happy. That's when you're truly an artist.
I started chasing sounds, faster songs, the shorter songs, the immediately recognizable songs, the things that felt like they belonged online. But the weirdest part, I was getting better. My mixes were getting cleaner, my productions were getting tighter, I learned more than ever. Technically, I was becoming a better producer, but at the same time, my music felt so corporate. My mental went from how can I add to the conversation to how can I be the loudest in the room? And those two questions create two totally different artists.
Remember arguing with teachers, I should do more. I did exactly what they said and started smoking Newports. Like
I spent years trying to escape Fishbowl Mike.
Why are you running?
But the thing I was running from was the first evidence that my style was developing. Maybe your style doesn't always arrive as a finished product. Maybe it shows up as that thing that people keep pointing out to you, that you're desperately trying to ignore. Because sometimes the criticism isn't you're doing something wrong. Sometimes it's you're doing something no one else is doing. But the question is, do you fix it or do you develop it? Because I think a lot of artists never find their sound. Not because they don't have one, but because they keep deleting the evidence.